Cancer, welcome back to Rogue Mystic Divination, and it is Cancer month. I know we have Leo tagging on there at the end, but for the most part, it's us. And we're going to do a monthly reading. It's going to be random. There's going to be no structure. We're just going to go for it, and I don't know. I think that's one of the things that Cancer is known for, and that's why a lot of times people think that we're emotional wrecks. It's like we come off as kind of reactive personalities, but we're reacting to our environment, right? So, whatever. Also, this month, it is my birthday, and I share it with Tesla, so throw a comment down there if you also have a birthday on July 10th, and I mean the inventor, the scientist, not the car company, so not the technology company. So, here we go. We are not going to do that because that was a stack of calamity that we do not need right now. Okay, here we go. I just did Gemini. This was also the first card that Gemini got, and I shuffled the hell out of the deck. So, yeah. There was another reader that I was watching for this month, and I don't remember which one it was. I want to say that was Just Saying Tarot, but I want to say that she did either Gemini or Leo and then did Cancer, and she got similar cards even though she shuffled the hell out of her deck too. So I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to try not to do a duplicate reading, but if it fits, it fits. And I mean, I'm going in. But with death coming up first, you may end up finding that a Gemini isn't necessarily, because it was the first card that I have for Gemini. It seems to be despondent, or they're not getting back to you, because that's one of the main themes that I had for them, is that they were cutting things out, kind of cleaning house as to how much energy they were putting into everything. They were collecting too much, and they had too much, and to the point where it's almost a hoarding kind of a situation where it's, too many people, too many things, you have too much stuff, and to the point where you don't even remember where you got it. Did somebody leave this at your house? And I almost want to say that you may have someone that has shown up in your life that you're not sure how they got there. And that's might be what you're questioning is, I don't know how they got there, but I'm not against it, but I almost don't want to ask. So now this is a little bit more thorough. We have the Three of Cups. So I think this is going to come out in the second to the 2 or 2.5 weeks into July for you. This celebration is going to come in as like a breath of fresh air, but there's still more responsibility with it. However, you do get to hang on to that idea that this is beneficial right now. This is a good thing, and you're not focusing on any of the problems that may come with it. And it's definitely going to put you in your Cancer energy to where you're moving. You're moving whichever way it is that you feel is necessary. And I feel like we've had a lot of blockages lately, Cancer, and it's gotten to the point so that we could be perfectly set up to see this blessing for what it is, to see the party for what it's there for. And it's so that you relax, not so that you invite a bunch of people over that you're not comfortable with, so that you buy a bunch of food and you cook it up, and and then you're worried about whether people like it or not, or if anybody's allergic to anything. That's like the great error of throwing a party, right? Like, is it possible that I'm going to kill something or kill somebody with some obtuse allergy that nobody else in the world has? Like they're, I don't know, allergic to like parsley. I'm sure that there are people that are allergic to parsley, and you put parsley in everything, but you can't necessarily tell it is parsley. They thought it was something else, something ridiculous like that. And it's going to allow these burdens to fall out of your back. So even if this was something that happened to your face and in front of you, you may find that there was a lot of actions that happened behind your back that you were unaware of, or that you had the intuition that it had happened or something was going on, but you didn't have any proof and you couldn't look into it. So you're just like, I have no burden of proof and I have no evidence. I can't go to anybody with this. I can't go and ask anybody for help with this because they are not going to acknowledge what's going on. I know I've certainly had issues like that where it's like, even if you're right, even if you did come up with video evidence, it's like the other person or somebody else is going to come up and say, oh, that didn't happen like that, or you're taking that out of context, or were you setting me up because you're the one that was filming this and something happened before that where that means that all this doesn't matter. It's essentially going to, it doesn't matter what kind of proof that you've got. It's like this is your word against theirs, and because they have more people on their side, no one's going to listen to you. And if there's a lot of situations like that in the past, even those that you're unaware of, those are going to end up being undone, or you're going to end up having them reveal to you how deep it really went. And somehow, though, I think that this might also have someone still have the gall to say that you should be grateful for the experiences that you had. And they can go to hell because it wasn't that bad, or, oh, you're lying about this and that. Like, even though you have proof that all of this kind of crap happened, and they're even bringing you more that proves that it happened, you're still supposed to be willfully involved in the direction that they want this to go. I think that's why the chariot's coming up too. I think they're not going to get the answer that they want. They're not going to get the results that they want. There's going to be some kind of movement here that, unbeknownst to them, you're in more control of. And whenever they think that's going to be going their way, it's going to depart from any kind of path that they thought it was going to go, and somehow they're going to get cut out. And sorry guys, I lost my voice a while back, and I'm still kind of fighting with my throat and everything, so bear with me, and I do appreciate you being patient whenever I can't get readings out and stuff. But we've got the Queen of Cups over here, and I have no idea why I'm setting up these cards like this. It's just organic and going whichever way it needs to go. So we have this due diligence over here, and it's almost as though, and I hate to keep going back to this Ten of Swords, but it's almost as though someone put you into bad situations to see what you do with them. Like they put you in poverty to see how innovative you could be, or how resourceful you could be without the things that you were supposed to have. And then with the Queen of Cups, it's definitely someone who is over here. This is somebody else. This is somebody else who may be trying to end how you viewed them, and maybe trying to bring the party to you, bring the celebration to you. Like, they abandoned you and they won the lottery. They abandoned you and then they won the lottery, and they want to share that with you. And because of that, the Queen of Cups has her back to the past and is trying to put up this border between the past and what they want with you. And that's where you have to go back to your inner feelings. Like, what does your intuition say? Do you think they're going to drop you as soon as it's convenient? Are they going to try and force you into another codependent relationship where you don't have any choice but to be involved with them? And this could easily be a woman or a man. This is just someone who is in, on the surface, the position of being a nurturing, feminine, maybe not feminine, but a nurturing source for you. Like, they nurture your interest. They're interested in you. They're interested in how you feel, what your ideas are, and once the party's over, do they care about any of that? It's unlikely that they do. Because I think this person is still involved with the Ten of Swords. And it could be that they say, oh, well, all those knives are out of your back now, and well, there's room for me to stick some more in. So I think that this is going to be the position that Cancer finds itself in, though, this month. Starting about the 2.5 to 3 weeks in, there's going to be this financial opportunity or this ability to move the chess pieces. And I think that's how you need to play it. I don't think this is play. I think this is the ability for you to define things and then utilize them for what they are. Now, with that, I think that's why this person has come back around. They see that you have something, and they could have been put into a position of having nothing. And then whenever it looks like you're about to inherit something or things are about to change in your favor, then this person comes back around. And they're like, oh, hey, yeah, party hard, party all night long, good vibes. And then it starts in with this. And then they see that you're in this position. And then they're trying to move forward with that with you. But it's, they may be using this kind of party aspect, this party celebration kind of thing of like, oh, well, I threw you this baby shower. I threw you this wedding shower, this celebration of you. I threw you this birthday party, and, well, I'm a good person. Why don't you want to benefit me too? Do you know how much money I spent on that? Do you know how much money I spent on you over the years? I mean, I took time out of my life and my day to come to you, and feel free to look them in the face and say, I didn't ask you to do that. You did that of your own volition because they did. Likely they did. And, whenever you do things for people, it often enough is, and I think this is where some of this codependency and manipulation comes in at. It's like, well, I do this for you, so I expect you to do this for me too. You may not have been able to do that. You may not have been able to feed back into the relationship the same way that they were. And they almost put you into a position where you felt as though you needed to go out of your way and maybe even put yourself into debt to reciprocate whenever it was not a smart decision for you. But whenever they did this stuff for you, it wasn't, it didn't put them in the same position. With the Six of Swords, I think that's where the backtracking on the emotional waters is coming in at. Some unfinished business coming in, but you're cleaning this up and you're saying your piece for you. And somebody else, because they want to get something out of you or because they want to be involved in your life again, they're going to go along with it. However, just because they're willing to go back there does not mean you should stay there. Almost like you need to rehash it to deal with the problem or not touch it at all. Because otherwise the same process is going to happen over and over again, and I think it would put you into a position of lack or being manipulated again, or even manipulating or feeling like you need to manipulate in order to get something whenever you're being manipulated to manipulate, if that makes any sense. And with the, there is some kind of delay because you want to know everything that's going on with this. You want to know the ins and outs. You want to know why, because whenever all this comes in, I think it's almost as though there was a breach of contract somewhere, a breach of privacy, that somebody got word from the little bird that you were getting something, and it was before they told you. So there could be a professional that's violating privacy laws or violating some contract where somebody else gets your information before you do. Now, that doesn't mean that they get the check. It doesn't mean that they get the property, the inheritance, or whatever. It does mean, however, that they know that you're getting it and the kind of position you're about to be in, or that you may find yourself in. So be careful of someone trying to kind of lay the emotional foundation to where they can benefit from you later on. So it could almost be someone coming in to build a relationship because they see that you're about to come into something and they want to have a piece of it, or they want to have all of it. And I would not be surprised if this person was right on the same vibe of, trying to find something to blackmail you with or guilt you with. And I'm already at 17 minutes, guys, so I'm going to cut this out here soon, but I don't think this is going to be that difficult of a decision for you, Cancer. I really don't. Because it's going to be a decision between an emotional wreck, emotional manipulation, and some kind of stability. It's like you have kind of pithy in and out energy over here on this one side, which society may say that you need to have that connection. Like if you're disconnected from a parent and they're the ones that are suddenly coming back in, and you're like, well, society tells me that I'm supposed to have that connection and it may benefit me because I'm trying to build a family, I'm trying to build a village. It's not your job to build that village. If they put themselves in the position where you know what you know and you've had this experience with them, take that previous experience that you had with them and ask yourself, do I want that to be a part of my village? Do I want this abandonment, this emotional abuse, this emotional negligence, any of this? Do I want that in my village? Do I want that in my energetic bubble, for the rest of my life? Because it seems like this is just going to be a kind of the orbital effect of they come in and seem to get what they want out of me. And then leave. But I don't know what they're getting out of it. Or on this one side, I could, know my environment, build the environment that I want to be in, and not rely on the inconsistent energy from somebody else that wants to pop in and pop out. You know, that could be, it could have you divided because almost as though you may feel as though you want to be the home base for some kind of, like everyone in your family, knows that they can go to Cancer's place if they need a place or if they, want a good meal or something like that. And some kind of like, some kind of support. And you don't have to give that to them. Just a reminder, you do not have to give that to them. There are limitations to how much you hand out, to how much you give to others in your life. And this may be a point in your life where you define, or where you start to define, because we're always changing, right? What kind of person you want to be in other people's lives. But I'm going to leave it there, Cancer. Please check back in for your dailies, and I am really trying to do the weeklies again. So thank you for your patience, and thank you for tuning in. Please ensure that you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.